a video on kind of like a risotto. So I've done this before, where I've made like a no cheese risotto, and I've used this cheap white rice before to make a risotto, and it's all right, but it cooks a little bit uneven. It's really starchy, which is really good for risotto. It's not the right type of rice for risotto, but it's really starchy, and it kind of works-ish, but it doesn't cook particularly evenly. So what I thought about doing was I thought about soaking the rice in the stock before we cook it, so it has a little bit of time to absorb some of the liquid, so it cooks a little bit more even, because you sometimes get grains that are a little bit harder than others. I think what it is, I was once chatting to a lady in the supermarket, and we were talking about rice and things, and she said that what they used to do was they would buy cheap rice and then keep it for like a year, and what happened was it aged it and it made it a better quality rice. I don't know why that works, but she says what would happen is they'd buy big sacks of it, keep it down in the cellar, and then have a rotation. So buy like one, if they used a sack a month, and they buy a sack every kind of month, and then use the one that was 12 months old, type of thing. I don't know, but I've also kind of seen it in the supermarkets, like aged basmati rice. So maybe that's the reason why this is cheap rice, because it's very fresh. I can't imagine it's very old. But anyway, so we're going to soak that rice, and then going down the subject of limited food, limited ingredients, limited budget type stuff. We're going to use this cooking bacon, which is it's really good quality. What it is, it's the end bits of the joints of bacon that the machine can't slice, so it's the end bit. So you tend to get a better quality bacon for the money, and sometimes you get these big thick rashers in. So we're going to use that. It's a bit salty, I find, at bought supermarket bacon. So what we're going to do is we're going to poach it in some water first to cook it, and that'll draw some of the moisture out, and that's what we'll use to make the stock out. So we'll use it from the bacon stock, and these nice bits of fat on there is what we're going to put into the risotto as well. And then we've got the wonky peas from the supermarket. These are Morrison's. They are like 55p for 900 grams. They're spot on for the price, absolutely spot on, nothing wrong with them. I don't know why people don't buy expensive peas. Well, I do actually. Like the name brands like Bird's Eye in the UK, their peas are exceptional and really sweet, really juicy. These are just the ones that probably just haven't been frozen just quite in time, because they need to freeze them in within a few hours of them picking them. And these are probably ones that haven't been frozen quickly enough, or they're just slightly odd sizes, or not kind of come up to the grade of Bird's Eye. Anyway, so I'll start. So I'm going to poach. We'll see how much bacon I'm going to use. But I'm going to make it quite. Oh, and there's 2 onions as well. But I want to make it quite more substantial than rice. So I want to put in quite a bit of bacon. So we'll have a look at these. This is already going to be a longer video than I actually wanted. So if you look at that, it's almost like a gammon steak, is that? Almost like a gammon steak. So we'll use 2. We'll use 2. See, look at that. Look at that. It's a gammon steak. It's a gammon steak. And it's really cheap. So it's like a kilo of bacon, and it's about £1.45. Or maybe £1.50, which is the cheapest form of meat out there. You know, cheaper than sausages. But anyway, so we'll use 2 of those, and then we'll kind of we'll poach them. That's quite a lot, though, isn't it? I don't have to use it all, do I? No. So a little bit of water. We're going to use about 400 grams of rice, so that takes about a litre worth of stock. So that and that, start to poach. And then I was working this week. I've worked quite a lot this week, and it was gammon. So I have some gammon stock as well. So that's what we're going to soak the rice in. So we're going to use a combination of that bacon stock and this gammon stock, which they'll taste very similar. I don't want to wait. So what we'll do, I use a jug. because I don't want to create any washing up. I want to fry the onion in there with some of the fat from there, and then we'll put the rice in. So we'll weigh it out slightly off camera, because I haven't got enough space. We'll weigh 400 grams worth of rice, and then there's enough for plenty to eat tonight, and then there is enough for an easy microwavable dinner tomorrow. So that's 400 grams of rice in there, and then this cold stock. I'm not going to put hot stock in it, I just want to put whole cold stock on, and then we'll see if that rice softens up a little bit in there, and then we'll kind of see how we go. So that's fine, and because we're going to use that, we're not going to be washing off any of the starch. So if I was to plump up the rice in water, we would lose some of the starch from the rice, and the starch is what we want to form the risotto in the pan. We need that starch to come out of the rice. If we were to wash it to plump up the rice and kind of help it absorb and not be as tough when we eat it, we'd have washed that starch away, and we need that starch. So by doing it this way, we're going to save that starch, and that starch is going to get used in that water. If I didn't have that ham stock, what I would do is I would poach the bacon, let that stock go cold, and then put the rice into that liquid, and do it that way. I wouldn't put it into hot liquid, I'd do it into cold liquid. So a little bit of a faff, and probably more pans than I actually want to use, but I just want to see if this works. So we'll poach that. When those are poached and cooked, take off the fat, we'll rend that down, we'll fry the onions in that, and then we'll add that rice and stock to that, form the risotto, adding some more of that stock as we go, and then we'll throw in the some cubes of the cooked bacon and lots of peas. But I want lots of peas and I want lots of bacon in it, so it's more substantial. And then we'll finish it off with a bit of milk. I think we won't. Yeah, there should be enough flavour in the stock, so we won't need the stock cube, and there should be enough fat in there to make it kind of go creamy as well. But yeah, I think that's it. So that's what we're going to do. Pretty straightforward. So we'll be back when I've fried off the onion in the bacon fat. So, rendered down some of the fat. Well, all of the fat. I don't think there's just going to be just quite enough in there. I'm going to leave those crispy bits of skin in there, because I think they'll be nice. And there's probably too much onion. There's probably about 300 grams of onion, which is too much. Because I was thinking, while I was swimming, that I really should do like a cheap version of this. So I'll do in the description, I'll do the recipe that I actually used. So like 200 grams worth of onion, 250 grams worth of bacon, and then however much rice. Well, it's 400 grams worth of rice, how much stock, and how much peas we're going to use, and then I'll do like a cheap version. So what kind of amount of onion that you can get away with, what kind of amount of like 100 grams worth of bacon rather than 250 grams worth of and to 400 grams worth of rice, to still kind of make it nice, but just like more of a cheaper version. I'm going to put more fat in, so this is just some fat from something else that I've got that I had in the fridge, and then we'll put a little bit of salt in, because that'll just help draw out the moisture from the onions. Don't want too much salt, because the bacon stock is going to be a little bit salty. So cook those down slowly, and then we'll add the rice and carry on making a risotto-ish. Onions soft, so looking nice and shiny. So we'll now add the rice and stock. Probably too much stock to add first go, but it'll evaporate off, it'll be fine. I'm not going to be too precious about this. There's a certain way that you're supposed to make risotto, but you can break a few rules. Just get all that rice out there, we don't like waste. You can see some of these, well, you won't be able to see, but some of these bits of rice they're not whole. There's like broken bits of rice. They're not like this, right? You can see it's not whole rice, it's bits of rice, which is probably the same for other packets of rice, but there's just broken bits, so it's probably just a lower grade rice. Not quality, just a lower grade. People assume that lower grade something means a lower quality, but that's not necessarily true. It can be just down to size or shape or so cereals that farmers grow, wheat, corn, maize, barley, all those type of things. Maize is corn. Anyway, they're bought on water content as well. So a buyer will go to a farm, they'll buy the grain from the farmer, but what they will do is they'll test the water content of the grain, and they'll only buy it at they'll only want to buy grain at a certain percentage of moisture content, and if it's different, sometimes the farm has to dry it out a little bit longer. But anyway, so this might just be stuff, this cheap rice might just be stuff that's of a lower grade, that's got even lower water content than like another rice. But anyway, that's that, isn't it? So bring it up to the boil, give it a taste, see if it is salty or not. That's going to be okay. That's going to be okay. It's a little bit salty at the moment, but there's plenty of rice in there, so that'll be fine. And there's peas going in as well. How's this taste? That's okay. We just need to be careful on the salt content. But there we go. So we'll bring that up to boil. Slow simmer. I'll keep stirring it, although I'm doing my ironing at the moment, so I'm not going to be too fastidious about it. But there we go. Right, so we're just about there. Got a little bit of stock left, but I want to put in some milk just to make it that little bit more creamy and not just as opaque. You can put cheese in. You can put mascarpone cheese in. We can put some hard Italian cheese in. That would make it nice and creamy and delicious. But we're not doing that. We're doing a cheaper version. So what was that? Probably about 100 mils of milk. A little bit more. I want it quite firm. I don't like the I don't like a particularly loose risotto. That should be enough milk. 150 mils, something like that. And then we've got 200 grams worth of peas in there. They're frozen, so we'll add them in now. I think 200 grams is going to be enough. And the heat of the risotto, well, it's not risotto, but we'll cook those. Well, not cook them, but get them up to temperature. Just enough, and then a little bit of liquid will come out of them. So we'll just kind of have to time it. I think we've got some more peas in there. And then there's the diced up bacon. We'll see. We'll put the bacon in, and then we'll see if we want any more peas in. Let it mix around and give it a taste. I don't think I want any more salt in. Do I want some more peas in that? Yes, I want another 100 grams worth of peas. Use that one. And I've got a lemon in the fridge, so I might just add some lemon juice and zest as well. It'll just lift it slightly, so give it a taste. That's good. Certainly the soaking the rice beforehand in some of the stock, more pepper than that certainly works. Certainly the rice isn't just as tough as it was. It's cooked it a lot evener. That doesn't sound right. Let's turn that down. There we go. Fake risotto. Where is my lemon? I did have a lemon. It's getting a bit old. So we'll use it up. And we'll put in the zest and juice. It's just, we won't put that bit in. So if we're using the juice, might as well put in the zest as well. And just lift some of the richness just that little bit better. Yeah, so when you're doing lemons, it's not you don't do one little part, you do like that type of motion. And then you get all the zest and you don't waste anything. And that's that. Scrape that in, and then it's a bit, quite a lot of pips in it. I'm trying not to get the pips in. I've got one in already. Fine, it'll just be like a hard bit of rice. Half should probably be enough. We might put it all in. You don't need to put lemon in. It's just that I've got it and it's getting a bit rough. It's the lemon. It looks nice and creamy, doesn't it? No cheese gone in that. Oh yeah, and I put the recipe in for the amount of if we were to use chicken stock cube. Let's put the rest of the lemon in, and it won't just sit in the fridge for a few days and then get thrown away. You might as well use it up. Turn the heat off. That's that. Those are those. Pick that out. That's delicious. It'd be nicer with some cheese in, but delicious all the same. There we go. That works. Soaking the rice beforehand certainly works as well. A winner.